To be brilliant is to defy convention.
Welcome back, everyone. Here we are, Game 2 coming up shortly as we've got Quincy Crew taking on Wind and Rain. Lacoste is sending me gifted wrapped items in Dota 2, and I don't know why.
I'm a good Dota friend. What do you mean, why?
I mean, I want to unwrap that gift, but I also want to see how many Kunkka shoes I've got.
Well, if you open up my gift, you're gonna have one more.
Is it really? Okay, right. Dear Lord. Oh, one of the players, SVG, saying they've got some broken peripherals, so we may be waiting a little bit longer. Game 1, Lacoste. Alchemist for Quincy Crew. Yawa just had such an easy game.
It was just overall a good draft from Quincy Crew, where they had all their timings right. You have this Alchemist who had the 13-minute Radiance. You have Chen with the mech. You have Lashak who has one item. Yul Scepter also going for that Kaya. So every single piece of that puzzle is coming together, and once they group up in front of your towers, you got nothing to do.
Yeah, I mean, even with Wish's Timbersaw having, you know, a solo kill first blood on Lesh, doing really well in the laning stage, first 7 or 8 minutes was perfect from the Timber. Then he chased the Alchemist around, and they kind of got lost. The PA was farming jungle. They tried to have a couple of fights bottom lane, and I feel like that's where things started to spiral out of control. Boogie's Magnus, what did he have? Bracer Pipe? He tried to make Blink, but game ended too fast.
Didn't have enough time.
Yeah, it was a difficult one.
The Shadow Demon just cripples the Timbersaw because of the Soul Catcher, lowers his HP, and nothing Timber could have done about it.
I have 6 Seafarer's shoes now.
I have one more left. I'm gonna send it to you.
Birthday. Christmas.
Christmas is coming. Christmas came early for you, actually.
I've got so many Seafarer's shoes. I don't know where they I just get sent them by people. Like, I've not bought or got any myself. They are all gifts. They are all people giving me trash items. We've got a draft. We've got a game starting. Wind and Rain versus Quincy Crew. Game number 2 here, even if the pips don't show it. We are 1-0 ahead. Quincy Crew did win game 1. Now, draft-wise, are we expecting anything different?
Yeah, I don't want to see Shadow Demon, at least them letting Shadow Demon go through, because this hero just does way too many things at once.
Save, stack up poison, get that slow going. All spectacular stuff. Gyro first ban, Winter Wyvern, Legion Commander coming out as bans from Quincy crew. And Wind and Rain may just consider that Shadow Demon ban, honestly, coming out here. Or even the Chen ban. They take out Undying, but Chen has started picking up pace as a high priority hero for several teams now.
Yeah, it's one of the most signature heroes of SVG, and he plays it well. We saw how good it is in the laning stage. You get 7 HP per second region with that headdress. Same goes for your ally. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, for those of you just joining us, Sumail is standing in for CCNC as they had some health issues for Quinn over the past couple of days. Wishing him a speedy recovery, and Sumail being able to play for the Quincy crew is what they've been dreaming of, but not in this particular scenario, of course. Saberlight looking pretty good on that Abaddon. Interesting skill build with the max shield and passive on Abaddon without taking a point in Mistcoil until like level 10 or something. It worked out.
Actually 11. He got the talent 044 plus ulti.
Axe gone. Taking out 2 of those really strong off-lane kind of pressure heroes that get up in the face of your opponents, control up the creep wave. And out goes the Lesh from Wind and Rain. Respect ban against Sumail.
I mean, they can go for Chen. There's still Mirana in the pool, so they might get Mirana. As you mentioned, very versatile, can be played at multiple roles, and does so many stuff. You're not showing anything, and these picks are the strongest ones. Like, you have this Abaddon, you have Shadow Demon, you have Kanka.
Oh, Void. Ooh, Void.
I think it's... Or I think I've said Shadow Demon word like 70 times in the past hour, but once again, against Faceless Void, it's a great save, and the hero just scales. It's good at every single stage of the game.
Yeah, and you can't remove poison stacks with the Time Walk, right? So if you're against Void in lane, that kind of stacking damage, you know, Ursa Fury swipes, Slark Essence Shift, poison stacks, whatever it may be, very good at chipping down onto a Faceless Void's HP, making sure he can't recuperate it all from a Time Walk. So Shadow Demon potential here for Wind and Rain, Mirana, Kunkka, some also very strong options facing off against the Void in that first pick. Now, Void has just been so popular recently, having that big AoE chrono, the teamfight capabilities, but he's, you know, a safe lane carry that can save himself.
Yeah, even after the nerfs, this hero is still good. I mean, it's a reliable team fight, especially in the late game if they don't have any kind of a save. He has one of the worst scaling abilities, and that's actually his ulti. Like, it goes from 4 seconds to 4.5 seconds. And it costs more mana, and it doesn't reduce the cooldown anymore.
But it's huge. It's a big blue bubble.
It is. I'm just saying that I don't think it's the way we should have balanced it.
Mr. Ice Frog over here. Treant, do you like that? Head up with a Night Stalker.
Not the opener that you usually see. They could use some overtime damage, maybe put in Jakiro, which is great with the Faceless Void for the combo, like with Fire plus dual breath. And there it is.
There it is. So Treant, I guess, is he's a kind of save inside that chrono, right? Put the living armor on the target the Void's going for, but then you mentioned the damage over time. Jakiro is able to shred through the living armor for the most part. It does give them damage into the chrono, which they desperately needed.
Yeah, and the only way you itemize against the Night Stalker is getting a BKB, so I expect him to get the second item BKB. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to use your spells, use the Time Walk. And Treant Protector is good against Void. You have this living armor that you can put onto the target, the global save.
And Tree usually played in this kind of position 5-ish role where he almost plays stylistically like a 4, but gets the farm priority of a 5.
team banned.
We'll see where they head with it. Centaur taken out by Wind and Rain. Two tanky boys on this Wind and Rain side. You maybe thinking about the struggle to do enough damage into them. Think of some heroes that can burst into those big
10
boys.
seconds remaining.
You could also use some more damage
5 seconds
in that
remaining.
Chronosphere, even though just by having Jakiro, it's really a lot.
We might see some OD. Or something along those lines. Later on in the draft, Naga Siren. Oh, that's an interesting ban. I guess Song of the Siren, very good against Chrono if she's not caught. Exceptional reset tool. Along with Overgrowth, Song of the Siren would have been a pretty nasty turnaround for Wind and Rain to bring up.
Also, she builds into the Fusel Blade, and the Faceless Void is really vulnerable to mana. His mana burn, his mana pool is extremely low.
Yeah, he needs to be spamming
Yeah.
Time Walk in team fights for sure. Final ban and second phase for Wind and Rain.
Gary, what do you think about the picture of Quincy Crew, their banner? Oh, they changed it.
It's it's still Quinn's face.
Still Quinn's face, yeah, but
It's
they
just
they
cut.
moved it.
Well, it's because the actual picture's on the other side of the banner, right? They just haven't edited it correctly. So Quinn's face is like here, and then it continues on to the other side of the banner.
You're a smart man.
I'm a clever boy. The amount of times I've been into Dota 2 to make a team and trying to make funny graphics with MS Paint and then realize that I've messed everything up.
This is the hero that we don't usually see at all. Like, he's super situational, but against Faceless Void, against his Time Walk, we're gonna see some bouncy stuff happening. I want to see Kunkka. Like, Kunkka builds into BKB early on, great against the Night Stalker. You have X-Mark against the Disruptors, Glimpse. So there's could be some cool plays they could do.
Was it No-Tail that said Disruptor's the worst hero in the past 1.5 years? Tweeting out saying it's just not a hero anymore. But it gives you the circles. Lots of circles. And Vision from Treant, Protector, Night Stalker, Thunderstrike. You've got some really nice ways to continue catching heroes. Get that snowball going. Quincy Crew. You know the 3, 4, and 5. Night Stalker could be the pos one of Wind and Rain, but we've only really seen TNC pull that out of the bag. So we're kind of expecting the 3 off-lane Night Stalker. So you know the Void and the Jakiro likely going to be against Night Stalker Treant. You know that the safe lane of the enemy is going to have a Disruptor as a support. Now picking up a Grimstroke, you know, that's going to lead into some kind of, Centaur's gone. Sand King could be an opportunity here, but you know you can pressure the Disruptor, right? He's very weak when he's on the back foot.
He is, definitely. But I want to see some single target stuff that could be thrown inside of Grimstroke's ulti.
Drow Ranger for Wind and Rain.
Wind and Rain, they really have some different mentality about how to pick, how to approach the game, and usually you would not see a lineup like this.
Yeah, this is this is starting to get insane. Well, they've got saves, they've got Glimpse back, they've got living armor, so Drow Ranger does have
10 seconds
some ways of mitigating any jump from Quincy Crew.
We saw some of the teams picking Drow Ranger against Faceless Void. Usually it was the other way around, but with the Gust, Silence is just so good against Faceless Void.
Yeah, long duration, like 4 seconds silence. Then when you get to is it level 15 or 20? It's 20. You get the 50% blind on Gust.
Level 15, yeah.
Level 15. Yeah, I always forget the Drow Ranger's not a hero that I see very often. Ogre Magi for Quincy Crew. That looks like the position 3 for them. It is a single target spell.
Did you talk about blind or duration?
The blind.
Yeah, blind is on 15, duration is on 20.
Ah, right, there we go. Is it 3 second additional duration or something?
Yes.
Okay. Pretty tasty. So Ogre 3, Jakiro 5, Grimstroke 4, and you're going to have a Grimstroke Ogre lane.
10 seconds
That sounds
remaining.
scary. A lot of magical damage. There's going to be huge harassment
5
coming on from just these two.
remaining.
And Disruptor Drow, like you can't really harass an Ogre, can you? You're going to be run out, there's going to be Ink Swell, Fire Blast. Disruptor's going to get stomped into the ground. I like this from Quincy Crew.
Right now, Wind and Rain got 3 silences, so Faceless Void is not gonna have a good time.
That's very true. And the root from Treant Protector, right? Can't time walk away if you've been double rooted by Overgrowth and Nature's Guise. Mid lane is remaining, it looks like. Along with the Drow Ranger, you know, you can pair up a Viper, an OD, something along those lines. But they feel kind of... You know, OD feels kind of frail and weak. Do they need to go for like a Viper? Do they need to go for a ranged hero at all, I guess, is the direction I'm going.
Well, you would want to have a core that scales with the Faceless Void, something ranged, so that he can throw in some damage inside the Chronosphere.
Yeah, for Quincy Crew.
So it's a ban into pick for Quincy Crew,
10 seconds remaining.
which means Wind and Rain will have the last say
5
in this
seconds
draft.
remaining. Dire team pick.
Broodmother banned. Does that mean OD? Does that mean Invoker? Or does that mean Viper for them even?
Radiant
Their
team
final pick. Invoker it is.
Good call, Gary.
Yeah, that Broodmother ban is always like a big signal for me for like OD Invokers. They're like two big heroes that hate laning against Brood. So now you're going to have potentially Exort Invoker could come out here, right? They've got tons of stuns, loads of ways to dump down into Chrono, and now a Dragon Knight for Wind and Rain. So that's a decent pairing with Drow when he's
Yeah,
got his ulti
it's
up.
not a ranged hero, but once he hits level 6, he's going to benefit from that draw aura. A lot of healing outside of Wind and Rain, so Invoker will need to get Spirit Vessel. And with these two, Faceless Void and Invoker, you always have enough damage at the super late game once the Cataclysm is up.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Sumail Invoker, Nefrit Drow. Could be an MVP in the making. Mercedes, of course, bringing you the ESL One Hamburg MVP. Here we have it. Draft versus draft. 5 versus 5. Dota 2. And it's best of 2. Game 1 already going to Quincy Crew. Wind and Rain need to pick things up. And with a Drow and a DK, Lacoste, do you think they've got what it takes?
I'm just looking at this lineup, and usually you can't see a lineup like this for a reason. Meta kind of shifted. We've seen some changes in the Dream League right now here at Hamburg. Also, teams are picking differently. Wind and Rain, not the top-tier team, but they are causing some upsets, and I like that the teams who are not like Tier 1, they're sticking to what they know, but they also need to... Oh, look at the Void. He's actually so jacked.
Yeah, he's got the Time Breaker. He's got the green head, the Nexon head, or whatever it is. He's got like, I don't know, $700 worth of items on his Void. Pretty tasty.
Just what I've been waiting for.
Prepare for battle.
So, two
Just typing
forgetting
in some
settings.
cheats,
Just-
huh? I see.
I'm just hacking in, making sure I can, you know, gather all of the data of the players, sell it on to Dota Buff or some other website, you know. Yol up top, Stout Shield and Orb of Venom on this Treant Protector. Nikwa and Boogie leading the charge. Drow Ranger left alone down bottom. Nefrit, you know, they did this in the previous game, gather bounty runes, then come back and play. While Wish mid on the DK still has an Obs Ward. Invoker scouting for it. He's looking for where the vision. What's he doing? He's not hunting for vision like we normally do. Just standing on high ground.
Just having too much fun.
You all right there, Sumail? He's fine. Wrap around onto Yawar.
30
Faceless
seconds.
Void gonna get punched. One hit in from the Treant. Time Walker already forced. Yawar bullied away from the bounty runes, but down bottom. Well, I say but down bottom. They've actually got the control up. Quincy Crew.
Yeah, Quincy Crew. 4 people bottom just to secure the runes.
No Alk in this game, but still putting a lot of credence into picking up those bounties.
Battle begins.
Just what I
Absolutely, like no contest whatsoever. No one's fighting. Yawa gets himself safely to the tier 1. Now, do they keep this tri-lane top? Disruptor can't stay here, surely.
Nah, he's gonna need to be at the bottom. You can't leave Drow Ranger alone.
Oh, it's Treant coming down here. Treant comes down. Saberlight's blocking up, so Ogre and Grimstroke, your duo down bot, as we expected. Nefrit trying to block out the wave. Dodges the Stroke of Fate. Nicely played. We'll be able to hold it just outside of tower range. That's a perfect little block-on-block action going on. On mid lane, Sumail looks like he got a pretty decent block mid, but it does mean that Wish will be able to drag his wave back towards that tier 1.
That's a lot of harassment and the slow on the bottom lane from Treant Protector, Orb of Venom, and Frost Arrows level 1 on Drow Ranger. Wish getting harassed a lot on this mid lane.
I like that from Sumail. So many players nowadays, they're afraid to cast spells in case they need it later on. But when you're level 1, level 2, use your mana pool. Your mana pool is a resource to be expended. Throw a couple of spells, secure a range creep, stop your opponents from getting a range creep. One way or the other, use your mana. Cast your spells.
Tornado is 150 mana, so you're pretty limited on your mana early on, but here's a second one.
Secure the range creeps.
I mean, it's good if you can get the range one.
He's not going to be using it really in the next, 2 or 3 minutes anyway. I don't think any ganks are going to be coming his way. These 2-1-2 lane setups are pretty locked in place, and with an Inkswell forward, Yol in trouble. First blood spilled. MSS grabs it thanks to this tanky Ogre frontlining for him.
That was more like YOLO. I'm going in.
He makes him pay. So how's the top lane going for Wind and Rain? Is this all right for you?
So far, 9 Stalker, 9 CS on almost top of the net worth. So not too bad. They also have an overtime damage. Right now, it's a daytime, so they don't want to be too aggressive. Once they hit the 5-minute mark, they're going to fight for the bounties, and Boogie will need to be aggressive between 5th and 10-minute mark. This is where you put the pressure.
Sumail with his Bassi. Is he going to tornado this creep again? He knows he can't right-click CS the creep, or can he now? Yes, okay, he can. He can. Wish didn't go for the deny. It's been difficult for him so far, Sumail, but holding onto his mana for now. Down towards bot. MSS, Inkswell onto the Ogre. Tries to get as much damage into Nefrit as he can, but he misses the Stroke of Fate, and Yol has cleared him up. A pull across into the large camp here.
Yeah,
Going
come
to get
here,
messed
big
up.
boy. I mean, Ogre is extremely tanky, but so is Treant Protector. In terms of HP and damage, his armor is nowhere as close as Ogre's.
7 armor difference. Like, 8 armor Ogre is pretty intense to try and deal with. Sumail 16-2, farm trading with a DK, no surprises there. No kill threat really in that lane, as I should have been looking bot. What, Treant dies under a sentry, that's why. Gets found out. I was going to go and look top because I thought that was where the action was happening.
Oh, I love it. At the bottom lane, they use the glyph, so Quincy crew can't pull to the side lane. There was a full creep wave approaching. Nicely done.
And there's the tip. Yol. He's got his boots now. Boots Orb of Venom. Could lead to a few more kills as he tries to lurk into the zone, but Dire Sentry still spotting him out and his advance forward. Pretty slow but smooth game here so far. Yawa probably the only hero on the map that's feeling he's not where he should be, but with a nice little go onto Boogie here, if they're able to get another bash, potentially another ice path, they can't follow through on it though. And
Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, action. Oh, Treant almost gets away.
no points in Liquid Fire for SVG. 2-1-0 over on the Jakiro. Valuing that ice path over the Liquid Fire, at least for now.
You should definitely have 1 point. Just for the extra harassment, it doesn't cost any mana.
Sumail is still keeping tabs on this farm. Like,
He has more CS than Dragonite. That should not happen.
Yeah, the initial, tornadoes to secure range creeps, that was definitely working out. The Bassie's helping him spam out spells. Bounty runs top though, SVG is here, he grabs one, but he's going to fall for it. The Thunder Strike, the punches from Boogie, and now the chase onto Yawa, not going to follow through. Let the Void go grab the secondary rune, and bottom, what did we have down there? MSS takes one, and Yol took the other. That's what it was.
Once Dragonite gets to level 6, they should try to make a rotation on a mid lane. Get a kill on Sumail. Ideally, it's the Night Stalker, but it's easy to see that he's missing from a lane, so...
And he's making a play on Yawa. Or maybe not. Boogie's still level 4, doesn't have the point in the silence, so he's just going to allow Yawa to slip away. Yol not going to let MSS slip away. Goes in with a Leech Seed, a little punch forward. Saberlight looking to save his mate. Yol has Invis in 2, but the dust comes through. Fire Blast into Inkswell. MSS has a Mango and a Stroke of Fate if he wants to pop it out. There we go. Damage added into the mix. Invis and the dust wears off, and Yol's safe and sound until the Sentry comes out, and now Yol is found.
Treant Protector not having a good time this game. Meanwhile, they need to make something happen on this top lane. Night Stalker is level 4 during the nighttime. All right, here comes TP.
Ogre comes in. SVG still alive. This Ice Path causing problems for Wind and Rain. Yawa looking for Nikwa, but that kinetic field holds them back, and the TP out. There's no bash from Yawa. Disruptor home.
So this means that Drow Ranger on the bottom lane will
Oh, mid lane, Sumail surviving. The Orb of Venom might take him down. The Treant giving chase, but the Quas regen is enough. Looks like Dragonite's fine. MSS didn't get the chance to kill him off, but the final Leech Seed from Yol. He gets the takedown on Sumail. Trades his life for it, but well worth it.
Definitely worth it. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Drow Ranger is having a decent time because everyone just left the lane.
And Dragonite now feeling the pain. Saberlight, MSS, and SVG, 3-man strong surrounding that DK. Who is now slipping a little bit behind the Sumail Invoker. Phase boots up on him now. 3-3 in the Quas and the Wex. I want to see where he heads now. Usually it's the Urn. But I feel like Sumail's the kind of player that goes, screw Urn, I'm going Hand of Midas into Ags, and I'm going to transition into damage because we have a Void with Chrono.
He's gonna get the damage eventually. So having an Urn gives you that extra kill potential, extra regen, and if he wants to upgrade it to Spirit Vessel, great against the Dragon Knights, Dragon Blood, Treant Protector, also has Living Armor, 1 point in it. Hype it up, Gary.
SVG's dying! He's dying! He's dead!
And he's gone.
Nice
Yeah,
little
right
move in
now,
from Boogie.
Right now Boogie is having an extremely good time. We'll put the pressure onto the tower. You can see the rotation coming out from Drow Ranger as well. Also has Precision Aura if she wants to use it.
And they switch the lanes around. Yawa now down bottom. Makes a jump onto Yol. Saberlight doesn't have any reveal. They just force the Treant away from fully defending that tier 1. But equally on the other side of the map, tier 1 top being pressured heavily by this level 7 Drow with triple Wraith Band plus Treads. Oh, hello. They actually kill off Yol. What happened there? Did he get dusted up?
He did.
MSS with a reveal. Tier 1 top already falling though, and this means that Wind and Rain, they can mount a defense bottom. They're shifting heroes down. The first one to make the move is Boogie. Night Stalker.
Now look at this range creep. Bit to the bottom, scouting out the TPs.
Clever boy. Inkswell towards Night Stalker with the Phantom's Embrace Silence. Boogie, he's having difficulties sprinting away, and with a bash into multicast, he ulted and got obliterated. Saberlight and Yawa pairing up with the RNG gods. Yol and Nikwa trying to give chase onto the Ogre. They do get the kill, the 3x streak grabbed up by Disruptor.
Sadly, Faceless Void did not have one extra creep there experience to get himself to level 6. Otherwise, that would be a dead Disruptor.
Yol, again, silenced up. Tries to punch the Phantom's Embrace, but with the Inkswell there, the only thing he'll embrace is death itself.
That's a bit too many deaths.
On Treant, yeah.
Yeah, 6 deaths 10 minutes in.
It's getting a bit scary.
He's going full Yol.
Full Yol. Boogie. They've got vision here. SVG wants the bounty rune and he'll grab it. Down south. Saberlight multicasts his Quelling Blade. Takes out the Observer Ward. And Sumail chased back behind his tier 1 as Wish. That Elder Dragon form hasn't had much use. He's popping it but not getting too much damage onto the tier 1.
Multicasting Quelling Blade could be a good trick against Timbersaw or Treant, but it doesn't work. Like it just says multicast, it doesn't cut down 2 trees.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Multicast is a funny thing. Imagine if you accidentally, I guess you can't accidentally multicast Observer Wards. Just accidentally put down 2 obs. They're mounting a defense mid though, Wind and Rain, sorry, Quincy crew even as they do Tornado EMP Nikwa down to about a third of his HP, but Static Storm on Invoker drops him to half, and SVG's died in the back, but a nice Chrono. Yawa's there on top of 2. With the kill on Nikwa, they focus on to the soulbound up Treant, but Yawa, he's got 7 sticker, treads to swap back, and Wish can't quite find the kill. The lead seed is taking him down, but it's tickling him, and he jumps back out in the other side of the fight. Nefrit is being soloed out by Saberlight's Ogre. One more stun. Oh, he's gusted, silenced and pushed back into death.
Silence just got off cooldown, and I think Faceless Void should have died there. They were stacking stuns from Dragonite and Overgrowth. Still a decent fight for Wind and Rain.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, 5k net worth on your Drow, the DK and the Night Stalker, even though the laning stage, we were thinking, hey, the CS doesn't look amazing. Quincy crew are starting to pick things up, but they are top of the net worth. Void, Invoker, Ogre. Maybe struggling is the right word. They are starting to fall behind. They are lagging behind for sure.
Yeah, they are having some connection problems with the lag. Ogre building toward that Hand of Midas. It's definitely one of the best items you can get on Ogre.
Yeah, get that money flowing in. And we saw KP the other day, right? Go Midas into Crimson into Solar. You become an unkillable tank, but you also add in the extra value of those stat and aura items for someone like a Faceless Void who does need building up. Make a move onto Saberlight's Ogre. That's a lot of damage from the Void during this nighttime now. Boogie pops his ulti. Silence there to stop any attempt at a Fire Blast, and what's done is done. Dark Ascension.
That's a cool name for a spell.
Edgy name.
You think so? Dark Ascension, 666, Croatia, or...
Wait, the last part, what's that?
Well, you didn't have those? Like adding the country?
Oh, right, yeah, sure. Like .hr or something.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What was your first gamer name? Gamer tag?
Dire's top tower is
I
under
think it
attack.
was this one.
Just Lacoste ever since
Yeah.
you were like 12 years old?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
That's kind of embarrassing, to be honest.
No, I mean, it's a good name. It's better than any of my old names.
Yeah, but I bet half of those we can't even say on this.
Half of them you cannot say on stream. For my own ego's sake. Never mind anything else. Wish stands his ground. He's just like, whatever, I'm going to get hit by the EMP. Take it from me. Have my mana. I don't care. They see the Treant, though. They're TPing in SVG. Yawa wants to get involved. Nice little Ice Path Stroke of Fate, but the dust is required. Macropire to burn the trees. Not the trees!
Maybe they don't have to multicast the Quelling Blades, but Macropire will do the trick.
They're smoking up top now. Do they have Chrono ready? They do indeed. No Macropire to dump inside of it, but a Soulbind and a Fire Blast ready. They can pick off a number of heroes. If they're able to catch the Drow, that is really the ideal situation, but it's going to have to be Boogie. Night Stalker chronoed up. Inkswell is there for the extra bit of damage. There shouldn't be a problem. No TPs coming in from Wind and Rain. Give the kill over to Yawar. And a tier 1 to be claimed as well. So now, I thought Wind and Rain would maybe, move out, push mid lane, push bottom lane, go into their jungle, but they're coming to match the pace of Quincy crew. They've got the numbers
Double
top.
Sentry.
The Static Storm's good. It's perfect. The Connect Field onto 2. Invoker's caught. Ogre's stuck inside. The Overgrowth is on to 5, and this is Quincy Crew getting burnt alive. Yawa jumps away with a time walk, and MSS sprinting out. Nico glimpses him back as well. SVG trying to dip back out of danger, and Ice Path may be required to save up the Void. But he's gone. The Wish blinking with a Dragon Tail finds a bonus kill. The Void, the Invoker, the Ogre, the 3 cores gone. The 4th will follow the Jakiro. Position 5 dead.
Night Stalker TP'd bottom to pick up a Bounty Rune and will get a kill
5-man
on
white.
MSS.
They're all dead. Quincy Crew blown off the face of the map. We were wondering what this weird amalgamation of Radiant heroes was, and there it is.
They just ran uphill. They had a vision of the shrine, but they did not expect them to take a fight during the daytime, even though Night Stalker was missing.
Sumail will save Saberlight for now. Maybe get a kill on the Treant on the way through as Yol will drop to his knees. But yeah, they use Chrono solo on the Night Stalker and then they stick around. I thought they were fine to go for the tier 1 tower. Static Storm onto 2 heroes though. So potent.
They should keep fighting on side of Wind and Rain. It's nighttime for the next 4 minutes. Dragonite has his mobility item so he can catch up with the Faceless Void. The Glimpse is maxed out.
This Boogie guy, this Night Stalker man, 1,000 gold away from Aghanim Scepter. He's going to have it at like 20 minutes. Faster.
20 minutes faster than usual.
Yeah. 40 minutes faster than usual. And what did we see? We saw Gabby get like an 18-minute, 17-minute Ags. Was it faster than that?
It's not faster than that because he was playing the safe lane. I think he had 20 minutes.
BKB Ag.
BKB,
yeah.
Bottom lane, Gary.
Oh, is it Boogie? He's fine, dude. He's a Night Stalker. Not a care in the world. He walks back in, but there's the Soul Bind. Double Tornado, triple in fact. The DK on the far left does get caught. Quincy Crew playing the right-hand side of this lane. Boogie is trying to slide in behind again. Gets another Void onto Sumail. Do we have a silence? We do in 3 seconds. Yol, what is that, like his 11th death? 10th death in a row.
Faceless Void, silence, where's the Glimpse?
Jakiro's gone. EMP will just about clip the DK. Boogie is found. Yawa with a bash and the Ignite there, the Chrono. 2 of them caught, but the damage is lacking. The follow-through not coming. Nefrit, Hurricane, Pike away. And Void, he's going to have to jump back. Saberlight needs to sprint away, but the Thunderstrike is there. Nico just keeps his vision going, and the jump in from the DK. They're onto the Grimstroke. The Sumail, oh, Static Storm is beautiful. Gorgeous ulti from Nico. Wish will not survive, but it is absolute perfection from this Disruptor. Worst hero? No, no tail. Nico is the best.
I can't believe that he was actually holding on to that ulti for so long. Didn't want to pop it, and then shows up, just counters Faceless Void completely. He needs that BKB desperately.
Is it coming? It is. Saved up 900. Still a long way to go. Boogie now, 600 off the Ags. Moves up top. Get a bit of free farm going for himself.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The thing is, if this game drags, BKBs will come online for Wind and Rain. Drow Ranger is building into one. Same goes for Dragon Knight. Night Stalker will get one eventually. They don't have any abilities that go through BKB. Like, you're relying on your Faceless Void to deal physical damage and potential Sunstrike, which is only 1 point in Exort, so not that effective.
Hey, you're absolutely right. And now, Wind and Rain smoke up. Boogie has his Ags finished coming out on Courier. Top lane is going to be controlled up, as well as Dire Jungle. Equally smoked up are Quincy Crew. Heading down to connect with the Void. Chrono in 35 seconds. The mirror movement on the map. Splitting the map horizontally pretty much. Radiant side plays up to the top part. Dire plays down to the bottom, as we usually see. Come and ward down into these areas where you can spot the movements of your opponents into the jungle. Natural stuff. Now this, the clash coming from opposite sides of the river, is a little more interesting. Saberlight gives away his position, walks into the creep wave. MSS shows with a stroke of fate, but here comes Boogie. Night Stalker, Dark Ascension flapping his wings over the hills far away, gives the vision for the glimpse, so they drag Saberlight back into the field and into his grave.
Man, this Disruptor is doing so much work. You know, when the hero is not picked, sometimes you don't know how to play against him because it was kind of forgotten.
Yeah, that whole, experience and feel thing, we were talking about it on panel earlier on. Just the feel of the game completely changes. The dynamic that Glimpse brings, that Static Storm and Kinetic Field bring. I mean, Disruptor was popular when it was Force Staff season. Disruptor was popular back then. Now Force Staff isn't really an item. Disruptor comes back and people realize, hang on a second.
Yeah, now it's a winter season, so we're not into Force Staff season yet.
Yeah, we're more into hoods and pipes. Keep ourselves warm.
That's a good one, Gary.
Gotcha. I knew where you were going with that. Even if you didn't.
Sometimes I just let it hang and get my caster get the most out of it.
Or let your co-caster get flustered over it.
I think I'm the co. You're just the caster.
Oh no, you're the lead caster for sure, Lacoste. You've cast a TI, man. You're the lead caster
No,
now.
I'm just the co.
Okie dokie.
This Treant Protector is giving them trouble. I mean, he shouldn't be having this many deaths at this point. It's 10, but still, he's doing his work. Like, he's scouting things, forcing rotations. The supports are buying dusts and sentries for him. And he has this global presence.
He does get scouted, silenced, and caught up in the ice path.
Yeah, I'm no expert, but 11 deaths is a bit too much.
Let's see what the rest of his team can do with the information he's given them. Scouting, yes, it's great and all, but dying and not being able to fight around the scouting and the vision you're giving is quite another. Wish has Blink BKB now. Nefriot has BKB Pike with Aegis, of course, for another few minutes. Quincy crew getting the best out of the last 30 seconds, though. Top lane Void is free farming. Ogre is back in the jungle using his Hand of Midas and multicasting it on the potato-tomato camp. I do have concerns about Sumail, though. Spirit Vessel into Yules. No transitional Midas, no Aghanim Scepter, no Force Staff, no BKB. This Yule Scepter, it is, an item which potentially can save him from Night Stalker and Disruptor, but it also could be his undoing.
Yeah, it also removes the silence from the Drow Ranger, not the one from the Night Stalker. Also buys some time if he's caught into Static Storm. But they are approaching. Like, they still have this Aegis up and running for 2.5 minutes.
Okay, DK with Drow Aura is pretty damn powerful, Lacoste. He's whacking away. Watch this tier 3. Watch it melt. Watch it get absolutely annihilated.
That's a big tower.
Yeah, it's a big bloodlusted, beefy boy, but even so, this glyph is not bothering Wish 1 inch. He's got Dragon Blood, he's got BKB, and he's taken the tower down to about 60% HP. Multicast not coming from Saberlight on the Fire Blast. A quick cold snap for an even quicker Force Staff back by the Drow.
It's time to fall back because Yawar has a 10-second BKB, and they will gladly take this fight.
Quincy crew coming out of their base, like you're saying, emboldened by the fact Yoar is ready.
Oh, they saw him. He's pinging it out.
Wish looking for the vision. He sees the Void again.
But Dragon Form running out, so I don't think they want to take a fight right now. Also, it's a minute and a half until the next nighttime, so just wait for Dragon Knight ulti to be up and then try to force a team fight.
They can see
Once
Yol.
again.
Yol scouts him out, and Yol finds that 5 heroes are a few more than he can handle. And there we have Invoker, skipping out the level 10 talent, going straight into 15. A cold snap cooldown.
Yeah, level 10 talents are really bad. For 40 Chaos Meteor damage, you're not even having an Exort Invoker, so...
Exactly.
But Ghost Walk, I mean, you benefit way more from putting an extra point in Quasar Wex at this point.
Exactly. And then you can come back for the Meteor talent when you've got more Exort.
Radiant are scanning.
Quincy crew. Even though they have this BKB Void, what's the reason they're not going out and, smoking, looking for a fight, trying to force
They might
anything?
smoke when Aegis is about to expire. So in 40 seconds, try to use a smoke, catch Drow Ranger off guard, and kill her. So, but you need to have a perfect timing for that.
Dire's middle tower
Well, DK will show himself on the tier 1. 3 heroes smoked behind him. Drow Ranger's going to come in, but the blink and the stun, catching Invoker, Static Storm
Big
onto the
Static
3 of
Storm.
them, but the BKB avoid and the Chrono turn. Already losing Sumail with no buyback though, and this is Quincy Crew bleeding out. They've got a nice tree into the backlines who already used Overgrowth, but Drow Rangers shredding through them all. Yawar has to jump back to the high ground. They didn't get a single kill, Lacoste, and they're going to lose 3 heroes, maybe even 4. SVG falls, glimpse back onto Yawar. He's already used Time Walk, but they don't have the blink stun from Wish just yet. 4 heroes down, and Rax might be falling.
Sumail didn't get a spell off in that fight. They had a good initiation from Night Stalker and the Dragon Knight. A lot of silences. You have this tanky core who runs in, doesn't care too much, has living armor sitting on him, and yeah, Drow Ranger just pops the aura. Drow didn't even use the BKB in the previous fight.
Yeah, didn't need to. Genuinely didn't need to. Nefrit perfectly fine. Taking down 2 lanes of barracks. No. Just going to go for the 1. Everyone respawning on Quincy Crew. So they take down the 1 melee. Not even a full lane. Still, 26 minutes in. Nice signal of intent there from Wind and Rain, as they know that this night time, another 4 minutes of it is going to give them another beautiful window here to continue fighting.
So 4 bounty runes, a tier 3 tower, and melee Raxes. They still want to take a fight. Dragon Knight about to have his ulti ready in 20 seconds. Also freshly bought Heaven's Halberd, which will cripple Faceless Void.
BKB from Wish is going to cancel out everything that Quincy Crew tried to throw his way. He'll find the Ogre, Static Storm onto Void, but he's got BKB, so he'll fall back and away. Other side of the fight, we've got Sumail finally casting spells. The Invoker's going to work. Saberlight's dropped, so is Boogie. A couple of beautiful pickoffs. And Saberlight is forced to buy back.
Oh no, not again.
Yo. Do we have sentries? We don't. Yeah, we've got a sentry there anyway, so it doesn't matter if he gets the invis off or not.
Yeah, but his positioning in the previous fight was amazing. He got the 4-man overgrowth, sitting on 1,500 gold, so I guess he just wants to buy a blink, has a couple of bracers queued up, but he's close to Blink Dagger, no reason not to buy it.
Disruptor working on Aghanim Scepter, look at him
And
go.
Disruptor is really farmed.
8.6k net worth. It was what we were saying, that this Treant, you know, he's kind of a 4, but kind of a 5 when it comes to farm priority.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Disruptor doesn't have a damage talent, right? No, okay. Just making sure.
Damage talent.
Thunderstrike damage. I was thinking right-click damage with the Drow aura. who do we have? We had like Witch Doctor, Lion, Winter Wyvern with a 3.
Rubik.
Yeah. That's a good 4th one. Drow Ranger supports. So we did get the pipe up on the Ogre. 4 staff queued up next, but even with a Hand of Midas, Saberlight seems to have struggled to keep his farm rate going. So has Sumail, sitting below 10,000, below the Night Stalker.
He's only 1,000 ahead of Disruptor at this point.
That's pretty nuts. That is actually pretty nuts. Big smoke in from Wind and Rain. Can they find anyone? Radiant scanned the high ground. They were looking for anyone near the shrine. Arcane Rune's there for Wish. He's already popped his ulti, interestingly enough. If he'd had that Arcane Rune beforehand, would have been absolutely wonderful. And with 1 minute remaining until Roshan...
I think he just misclicked.
Yeah, he must have.
There's no reason to pop the ulti.
So now we very likely wait for the next Dragon Form to come up. They'll pick off a shrine, look for that. Easy objective for now. Manta style for Void. Thoughts? Silence? And another
It's
guaranteed...
great,
like, you don't want a BKB a Gust, right? So you're going to have Manta for Gust.
Manta
and
for 1, Silence Manta to get
BKB for...
out of the Overgrowth so you can actually attack and use the
Yeah.
Time Walk. So
or
two-
Night Stalker
two
Silence.
items to save. Manta style also gives you some tankiness, a little bit of damage, and a lot of stats.
Yeah, I mean, you did mention, right, at the end of the draft, they've got Gust, they've got Overgrowth, another route from Nature's Guise, they've got Static Storm and Crippling Fear. We knew the Void was going to have to itemize to deal with it, and this is the direction that Yawar wanted to head. And again, we see the split of the map. Roshan respawning now, though. Should be Wind and Rain who get that information first. Dire scanning near
Yes,
where they're holding, and they're grouped up like they're going to smoke.
Yeah, Quincy crew want to smoke, but they also need to outpush the lanes a little bit. Top lane still showing. Roche is up.
Watch them just like smoke like this and come again to meet in the mid lane. We're going to have like the yin and yang of smoke movements going in. Oh, double damage rune. That is big for Quincy crew. Put that on the Void. Get a couple of bounty runes. Now move into position. Roshan is not being
mana
taken.
pool is extremely low. I mean, it's 300 to cast the Chronosphere Mantis Town.
And he's stunned up.
125.
Dragon Tail's there. Can they get the control? They've got the Static Storm, but he BKBs. In we go onto the Drow with the Chrono. That's nicely done by Yawar.
Found Drow.
Down to the south, the Night Stalker's trying to go to work, but the Drow is still alive. Finally falls to the Void, but they've taken out Sumail in return. Niku's unstoppable as he gets MSS. Forces the buyback, and Yawar is still in there, but he's got no mana left. You called it right, Lacoste. He ran out of mana. He's got a Time Walk left, but he's been silenced up. He's been caught, and he's been... Oh, he's jumped away. Still has a DD rune to play around with, but he needs to get a bigger gap.
Time. Where's the glimpse? He has the cast range. Gonna catch him.
There we go with the Dragon Tail to follow. 3-4 in a row.
Drow Ranger hesitated there a little bit whether she wants to buy back or not to see how this fight is gonna develop, and Faceless Void used the Chrono just to get her, and now she's gonna pick up the Aegis. There's also Cheese since it's second Roche, and they can wait a little bit, maybe for the night time. Wait for Dragonite to get his Aghanim Scepter up and then group up and go in again.
Get that Dragon form going. MSS brought back as well, but he couldn't get into the fight properly. Oh, nice. DK Aghanims. We love to see that. The Black Dragon form. Bonus corrosive damage, splash damage, slow, everything increased. More attack range.
Yeah, he also went for the GPM talent, so he will get a lot of items if this game drags. The thing is about choosing the level 20 talent is whether you want to end the game right now or not. Like, if you think about it, how much 25 strength costs. Like, Reaver, you're gonna get that gold in 15 minutes. But you can get 25 strength right now, and it's also really good with the precision aura, so you can have more attack speed, which means more damage.
More damage, more damage. Wish. Dragon forms up. Midas multicast. Come on, Saberlight, clear the wave. Melee creep still up. The Dragon goes to work on that tier 3. EMP with a multicast Fire Blast. Quick little dual breath. Apparently, Wish doesn't really give a damn. Void is still bottom lane, showing on wave. Wish finally will retreat from the tier 3 push, but the Glyph has been expended. Glyph now down on the Dire side. There's the Void, there's the Void. Yawar chronos up the DK, but he's stuck on the kinetic field. He BKBs just a little bit too late, and Boogie's got the AoE silence into the back onto MSS. Sumail got caught in it for a sec as well, but Yawar dead for 70 with no buyback, and Wish keeps on going forward. SVGs, the Jakiro that's fallen, the Soulbind, well, it will connect a couple of them, but the damage is just lacking here from Quincy crew. 5 alive, still up and running for Wind and Rain, and Sumail, well, he's dead again, isn't he? Definitely blast back, but it's Nikwa with Wish clearing through them. A double buyback now from Invoker. Jakiro try to hold on to the last remnants of their base, but the structural damage is intense. Wind and Rain are clearing through these barracks like a hot knife through butter.
They didn't even lose Aegis in that fight. Try to focus down the Dragonite, but a bit too tanky to take him down, even in the Chronosphere. Yawar with no buyback, even if he has a buyback there. You're buying back on Faceless Void, who does not have a Chrono ready, and this is gonna be Mega Creeps ranged barracks on bottom, 170 HP left. Someone should kill that.
Apparently, Nefrit just wants to hit tier 4s. 10 seconds for Void to come back up, but I think, again, you've hit the nail on the head. Without Chrono,
they didn't even know. I mean, look at Yol. He's pinging out. Guys, there's still range barracks on the bottom.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I thought they took down the full lane earlier on. Maybe they thought the same. Like, we got a full lane, guys, surely. Yol, he gives his life for the ranged barracks, but Wish is there with the help of the Static Storm. They will try and force the BKB of Yawar. He's half HP. He's 10% HP. He time walks back and gets a little bit of that regain, but the Dragon just following him down, forces the BKB now. And with Invoker gone for 90 seconds, this looks like end of the road for Quincy Crew here in this series. GG is called, and Wind and Rain, they tie things up 1-1 in this best of 2.
Yeah, we had our doubts about the way they drafted, not your everyday draft, but they made it work, and I'm having a guess. Are we back to Drow Ranger meta?
It looks like that might be a possibility. I mean, Drow DK looked incredibly strong that game. Looking at the draft of Wind and Rain, you know, step by step, we're thinking, does that hero work here? Is that okay? Is that a combination they want? And things came to fruition. You know, the Drow and the DK, they seem to hit this nice coordinated timing where they're able to push all the tier 1s. Boogie's Night Stalker, I think, created a lot of space. But
I have to... But Nikwa, his disruptor, 10-1-24.
Yeah. Insanity levels. Absolutely insanity. Like, Yol is 213 and 21 on the Treant, but I think, like, we're making fun of all his deaths, like 11 deaths is too much, 12 deaths is too much. It feels like every single one of his deaths had a purpose, right? He's
not all
not in
13 of those, but yeah, a couple of those really had the purpose. He's buying time for his team. As we mentioned, using resources to try to find him dust, sentry wards. Sentry wards are limited, so I mean, he's doing his job in the team, even if it means that he has 10+ deaths.
13 deaths. Still super sick. I'm liking this. Wind and Rain showing that, you know, as replacements for Invictus Gaming go, they weren't a bad shout. Pretty damn nice. But there we go. Series done and dusted. We'll go to a bit of a break. Our games are done pretty quickly, so the last best of 2 of the day should be after about 20 minutes or so.
To be brilliant is to defy convention and challenge expectations.